Today I'm with the CEO and President for Tinka Resources, Andrew Carter. How are you today, Andrew?
Fine, thanks, Tracy. Thank you for having me on the show.
Well, Andrew, I have to say, Tinka Resources, for any of our audience that is not familiar with this lead, silver, and zinc play in Peru, has a tremendous history of achieving benchmarks. You've been very busy this summer. Do you want to talk about your most recent announcement about your drilling?
Certainly. Well, as you know, we've been in Peru a long time, and we discovered this silver resource originally, and then it's expanded now into zinc. So this year's been extremely busy. The silver resource is put to one side. We've discovered the massive sulfides at Ayawilca, and we've had a drill rig turning all year. And probably the most exciting thing was the results announced on May 22nd, I think.
All right, so let me back you up. For those who are not familiar with your results from May, would you like to give us an overview?
Oh, certainly. A1305 was in a recent independent report classified as the second best zinc drill hole this year. If we back up, as you say, and look at our cutoff grade, which was 1%, and you add the below cutoff grade, we had a drill hole of over 200 meters at 5.5% zinc. Now, if you want to put that into some sort of perspective, that's over a 60-story building.
Okay, and we have been following zinc. Zinc seems to be rising on the critical materials list, and there seems to be an increasing interest in the price of zinc and an attraction to it overall. Can you tell us a little bit about the zinc market?
Well, the demand for zinc is increasing because the supplies are falling. As you know, that several of the companies have lost their mines in Bolivia. There's a large zinc mine in Australia that's closing down. So the demand from China, from Asia, is enormous. And people are predicting, I'm not an expert in this metals market, but they are predicting that there will be a surge in the price of zinc in the next 2 years, and the demand will increase dramatically.
Okay, and just in the last several months, you did successfully complete your environmental impact study. Would you like to talk about that?
Sure. The EIS or EIA was necessary for Ayawilca as we were applying for a new drill permit. So it was a completely new drill permit. Prior to that, we had been drilling on the original 8 platforms that had been approved some years ago. So that was really part of the application for a new drill permit and for the new 74 platforms. So now we are underway with the ability to drill to the east of those original drill holes.
We've had a lot of outstanding news from Tinka Resources in the last 4 months, including the fact that you're doing a private placement. Now, it's true that you have successfully closed the first tranche?
We have closed the first tranche of this current private placement, raising funds to keep the drill rigs working in Peru on probably the most exciting project in the recent time.
Tinka Resources has a tremendous history, when I look through your news releases, of being very, how can we say, humble, understated with the way that you make your announcements, and you seem to be methodically achieving a great deal of benchmarks. What should we as investors expect in the next 6 months moving forward?
I think the next 6 months will be extremely exciting with our drill program at Ayawilca. Now that we have the permit with the 74 platforms, we will keep that drill rig working there, moving further to the east and expanding our mineralized area.
Peru is one of the most exciting places on the planet, for instance, with silver. Would you like to tell us a little bit about how you found your projects, or give us a bit of an exciting, highlights of Tinka Resources?
Well, we had access to a database back in 2004, 2005, and Colquipucro, which is the silver resource. We identified that first. We staked a lot more land, and we were looking for silver, and that's how Ayawilca came onto the scene. 1.5 kilometers south, we drilled that looking for silver and discovered zinc. So all of a sudden our area of mineralization increased dramatically.
Andrew, I have been to Peru, and it is a beautiful country, but I do understand that sometimes there are some negative perceptions about Peru. How about you enlighten our investor that may not have had an opportunity to go there?
It's unfortunate, Tracy, there have been some negative comments because of the Conga project up in Cajamarca and Puno area. It's a wonderful country, and I've got to say the food is fantastic. But as far as we're concerned, we have an excellent relationship with our communities. We have 2 communities that are involved. And one of the things that Tinka has done is try and develop sustainable projects for these communities, whether it's chocolate production, cheese production, yogurt production. We're putting money into animal husbandry and horticulture and agriculture. So, Peru is a mining-friendly country. I mean, over 60% of their GDP comes from mining. So they're very protective of that income, and they know that they need foreign investment. They know they need companies like Tinka to develop the resources of that country.
Okay, well, you heard it here first on Investor Intel. Thank you so much, Andrew, for joining us today.